In March 2020, Benny, who is a YouTuber who likes to document his travels with his team, were kayaking across a dangerous river known as the White Nile when they experienced a close encounter that could have taken their life away from them.
Fuck you!
If you do not know this, well, White Nile is one of the most dangerous crocodiles infested rivers of all time. There have been people who ended up losing their life due to the aggressive crocodiles that live in the river. The bigger question is, why did Benny and his group decide to go and kayak on small boats in this dangerous river? This encounter could have been a bad situation for all of them, but they were lucky and decided to keep going forward on this journey, just with a few small minor turns to prevent anything catastrophic from happening. In the end, Benny and his group were okay, but this is a reminder of how you should always do your research before getting into any river. This next video comes from a YouTuber named Mimi, who grew up in North Carolina, but she left her home to go and travel the world in her camping van. I guess you can say she really likes nature. But even experienced campers will encounter strange things, including Mimi, which I will let you take a look for yourself. As you can see, Mimi's day was interrupted by a woman who comes over asking her for help to help her find her son, which in the end they did find the woman's son. But this encounter was not a scary one. This was an emergency warning of how you should always inform people, especially your family members, when you go out on your own, because anything could have happened if you're not careful. There is only so much you can do. In the end, no one was hurt.
Hey,
How you doing?
I'm a little lost and I'm hoping maybe you can kind of help me.
Yeah, what's up?
So my kid he's 20,
Uh-huh.
but he was hiking around the Linville Gorge, and this is telling me to turn here and go obviously through that gated area, which doesn't look like a thing,
Yeah, no.
to get to his pen. He pinned me there.
Okay, well, I'm assuming you did a trail, right? Like a marked trail.
Yeah, but he said he was like on the side of a road and he's throwing up. And he's like, come get me. I just drove from Raleigh
Oh, dang.
in my work clothes.
Oh my gosh, so you really are?
Yeah, I was like, I'll be right there.
Oh god, yeah, that's far. Okay.
Do you have
I guess he doesn't know anyone out this way that would have something.
No, he traveled up here by himself.
Oh.
He thought he'd be all like crazy.
Well, we've got quite the situation. Apparently, down that road that I was just walking down, about 2.5 miles, her son is very sick and needs her to come get him, but she can't get past the gate. And there's no other entrance way, because I just hooked up my Starlink to see. There's no other way down there than through that gate, which is very locked. So she's calling 911 now to see if they can come help. Okay, I see what the problem was. I should have been using that. The wood that was here was obviously very wet. It wasn't me, it was the wood.
You don't make cool. You pull it on this side. We're gonna have a bunch of rescuers coming in.
Get my son.
Is that your son?
So where do you want me to move? Okay.
How far is
the river, about on the service road? On the map says walk pit, so there's gonna be the new walk pit that he's on, probably about 2 miles total in from the gate.
Didn't know.
All right, EMS and emergency services are coming out. They're gonna go get him. He's about 3 miles down the road. Well, we're thinking this guy has the key to unlock the gate, so realistically you wouldn't need EMS services because she can go get him, but this guy's apparently really sick down there She said he's not one to complain. He's been hiking for maybe 2 days. And he was going to set up camp about 2 more miles down, but then he started getting real sick and throwing up a lot. And he called his mom all the way from Raleigh. She drove a little over 4 hours to get here. She's still in her work clothes. So I told her to sit with me at the fire to stay warm at least, but she's so nervous. I understand why. I mean, my gosh. This night's about to get a little bit crazy up in here. All the campsites to pick. I mean, that's wild. I hope he's okay.
If you are enjoying this video so far, be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out my YouTube channel. Now, on to the next story. This next video comes from Alex, who on November of 2020 ended up exploring a ghost town in Yazo, which the first part of the video is him just showing the abandoned place. But as it began to turn night, Alex returned to his van and tried to get some sleep, after he had his dinner of course. But as Alex was trying to relax, something unexpected happened.
Outlying area on the outskirts of this town, maybe like 4 or 5. But other than that, you know, I'm pretty much surrounded by the heater came out, scared the hell out of me. Surrounded by just
in the middle of nowhere, in a ghost town. When Alex is trying to relax, he hears someone knocking on his van.
up on the stove, and then give you a little bit of a tour, have all the lights on, have all the windows closed.
The scary part about this is that we do not know if it was someone out there trying to harm Alex or someone just playing a prank in a ghost town.
Off, and we'll see you on the next one. Okay, bye. Okay guys, something woke me up. I heard I think sounded like footsteps. I'm not sure if that's what woke me up. I put on my pants and my shoes just for in case. I was asleep. I got all my windows closed. I got this light here, but I don't know if they can see it. But I suddenly heard footsteps. Something woke me up. I'm not sure what it was. Oh, fuck. Just for in case. Oh, shit. I heard the footsteps again. Looks like they went to the back. What the fuck? Okay. Somebody's definitely outside. I don't think I'm gonna stay here. Honestly, I end up shooting somebody. Fuck. Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? There's somebody inside. Son of a bitch. I don't even know if I want to go outside. Who is it? Fuck it. Fuck it. I'm coming outside, man. Just so you know, I'm armed. I'm opening the door. Who's there? I don't see anybody.
In July 4th of 2025, a YouTuber named Casey, who is known for exploring the wildlife, but he had no idea what he was about to experience on this camping trip, which was taken in Nepal. And from the start, it seems like an ordinary camping trip, but as time went on, well, this happened.
The Babai River Valley. There's only one road in here, and it's the road that we're on right now, and it is a rough one. This road accesses some very remote military camps, and that's the only people that are coming back here. The Terai region is the area of the floodplain where we spend most of our time tracking tigers, and now we've gone north more up into the Himalayan foothills. It's kind of where that floodplain meets the Himalayas. And this area is filled with all kinds of crazy wildlife. Sloth bears, potentially clouded leopards, big herds of elephants, tigers, everything. Wow. Two of them. Hear that? That's tigers calling to each other. I'm in my tent. And the tigers are talking out there tonight. It's awesome to know there's tigers just outside of camp, and at the same time it's kind of freaky. We'll see what happens. It's midnight. Hear the alarm calls from a gentle deer. They're coming from back there. Alarm calls. Again, something's out there. The gentle make very specific alarm calls towards tigers, and that is the tiger alarm call. That means there's definitely a tiger right by camp right now. Yeah. They don't alarm unless there's a tiger. So there must be a tiger right by camp right now.
Around 9 p.m., Casey and the group were talking about hunting a tiger, but they did not realize that they might just encounter one soon. When morning came, Casey was informed on how there was a tiger just nearby, and that is why they set off the alarms to warn anyone who might have been near the tiger and away from the camp. What makes this encounter so scary is how the group were just talking about hunting a tiger, and then in the middle of the night a tiger appeared next to the camp. This could have gone pretty bad for Casey and the group, but they were lucky and safe. This video is a reminder of how you should always be careful of what you wish for, because you might wish for the wrong thing that could potentially take away your life. The wild is always unpredictable, and that is what makes camping in the woods exciting but also terrifying, because you never know what you will expect. A bear, a person, a tiger, or even a skinwalker. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe, or a lion will come up to your house at 9 p.m. With that being said, be sure to like the video and comment on what video you'd like to hear next. Before this video begins, I am sure you are aware of the AI content that is going around, and I think that I deserve to get a like and subscribe because I am an actual human being, actually working and trying to give you good videos. With that being said, let's get into the video. I hope you enjoy. This next video comes from a YouTuber who is known for her stealth camping in the van. She has been doing it for a while now, and usually everything goes as she expected it to. No encounter, just a peaceful sound of the wilderness. But this would change when it began to turn night.
Put the camera on this little footstool that I always put in front of my tent when I close it up for the night. It's basically just shooting right next to the bus. Probably not the most exciting place to put the camera. Probably should put it over by the creek. But for the first night, I don't even know if it's set up right, so I'm just going to leave it here. This morning I got up and my tent is open. And I mean, I know squirrels are always trying to get in there, but squirrels didn't do this. Squirrels can't operate a zipper. I haven't seen any here with opposable thumbs. And I always zip it shut from the top down to the bottom. But see, there's two zippers. And so it's open the other way. One zipper stays at the top after I zip it, and somebody unzipped it from the top down to the bottom. So right now it's like it's open like a flap, right? So it's open, it's zipped at the bottom. And when I first saw it, I thought, well, that's weird. But honestly, I didn't think that much about it because I don't know, maybe I did it that way. I don't think I did. I never have before. But it wasn't until later in the morning that I thought about the critter cam. And I was like, oh, let's see what animals we got. So I popped it out, put it in, and I didn't capture any animals. I captured a guy. In the first part, it shot at like 8:30, and it just got like some campers walking to the restroom.
A guy who seems to be carrying a trash bag and a flashlight. The man is caught looking through the tent, not caring about who might be inside. The guy then walks off and comes back to try and open the tent again. And then he leaves after he finds no valuable stuff that he would like to take. This encounter is scary because the guy's intentions are still unknown. But he had a trash bag, which could have been used to get rid of a body if needed. The guy also had a flashlight, so he could try and find his way out if he needed. This was a weird guy. He did not take any of her stuff, her iPad, her tools, or anything. So why was he going through her stuff at night? The other question is, why did he have a bag in the first place? What was the bag for? But this is what she captured. I'll let you take a look.
In the golf cart, because the golf cart's parked in front of the bus. And then he goes around. I think he must probably go around the bus and come back again, because give it a second. He's going to come back. There he goes. Coming back around for another chance. And this time, he's not going to just look inside the tent. This time, yeah. Give him a second. There he goes. He's coming right to the tent. And look at this. He moves the camera. I mean, he moves the camera. I guess he doesn't know it's a camera, but he moves the steps with the camera so that he can unzip the tent and get inside. And then he's inside the tent for all you can hear him plunking around, moving things, stuff like that, moving stuff around. And then the movement stops, so the camera kind of stops recording. And, you know, I spliced these together. This wasn't all one. It was just one stopped and then the other started. But you can hear him still, but you can't see him. There he goes. Now he comes out. He's got that jug of water, which I think he had going in.
The lady confirmed that it was raining really hard, so I guess that could explain why he had a bag. But at the same time, it doesn't. Because why was he going through her stuff if he was an innocent person? From what I know, the lady is okay. She was not harmed or anything. But this could have taken a terrible turn. Keep in mind, it is night, and she is alone in a van, and there's a guy trying to get in. But in the end, she was okay. The guy did not take anything, so his intentions are still unknown. But it's still a reminder of how, even when you are in a peaceful place, something unexpected can always occur. This next video comes from a YouTuber named Arrow Brown, who is always traveling the world and is very new to camping. In this video, he went to South Africa jungle just to find a good spot to find a place to set up his trail camera. But at first, nothing usual happened. But as Brown kept walking on the path, something very shocking happened. I'll let you take a look.
I'll be walking. It's very dense around here, so I guess animals can walk wherever they want. They don't need the trail. But I'm almost 100% convinced we'll catch some animals on this trail. Just look at how nice that is. I just have to find a good spot to place the camera. I'm not too concerned about people finding the camera. This trail isn't used a lot because it's just a one-way. It's not a through-way. So maybe a tree. I reckon this tree could maybe work. Although that's going to be very obvious. Maybe if we find something that's a little bit further into the tree line, so it's better hidden, this could perhaps work.
Errol then heard the sound that was used to scare off the baboons, which he later told in his comments. But even with this automated sound, this was a very weird experience for Brown. From what I know, he has not ever been back to South Africa jungle, and honestly, I don't blame him. This next video comes from a YouTuber named Christine Lynn, who is known for her outdoors activities. She ended up going camping in California. While hiking back to our campsite, a long, dreadful day ended up turning into our worst nightmare.
And I am going to tell the scariest story that ever happened to me in the wilderness. To give a little bit of context, I was backpacking California's Pacific Crest Trail. We were just doing a small section of it called the John Muir Trail. It took us about a month to do, me and my friend. We backpacked the whole thing. The scariest moment happened about 1 week or so into our trip. We had been camping, just the two of us, me and my friend who is a female. We had been hiking for like 12 hours that day. We were really tired, so we went to go get a campsite, and I was really tired. I was kind of pushing my friend to like settle down and maybe like find our camp a little bit earlier that day. So we kind of camped at a place that was like the side of the trail. Like there wasn't anyone else there. We had camped pretty much all on our own, but it was on the side of the trail, so we were a little bit exposed to the other people who were passing us on the trail. So we both had separate tents. We would set up our tents right next to each other, so we were within kind of like talking distance, but we weren't actually in the same tent. We go to sleep, everything is going just fine for the majority of the night, and then at, I want to say around 5 o'clock in the morning, I see a light outside my tent. So like I assumed it was my friend, and so I kind of like just wait and listen, and I hear footsteps with the light, and you know, maybe my friend's just going pee outside, like maybe it's I'm freaking out for no reason. So then the footsteps start slowly walking around my tent with the light shining into my tent. So I'm like, okay, like there has to be like a logical explanation for this, like trying to stay sane. And later I was talking to my friend, she said she was doing the exact same thing in her tent, like hoping that it was me walking around and trying not to freak out that she was about to get murdered. It was probably a few minutes, but it felt like a half hour. Like it felt so long. I was so frightened. And so I hear the footsteps get closer, closer, closer to my tent. And then they stop at the outside of my tent, right at the door. So there's someone standing in front of my door. Finally, like I just can't take it any longer. I'm just sitting in my tent, like getting freaked out. And I decide to unzip my tent. Like I'm just gonna face whatever this is head on. So I unzip my tent. There is pretty much my worst fears realized. There is a man I do not know standing outside of my tent, staring at me. In the meantime, my friend is sitting in her tent, and she hears the tent unzip from me unzipping it, and she thinks that he's unzipping my tent, trying to get in. So I'm like, who are you? And he says, I'm Jack. And I say, okay, like, why are you here? Silent. He doesn't say anything. So Jack kind of stares at me, and he just gives me like the creepiest look. I say like, well, what are you doing? Like, what? Like, we're sleeping here, you know? Trying to act aggressive still, even though I'm like terrified in the meantime, and I'm like holding my tent stakes, like ready to stab him. You know, he kind of just seemed like he was like in a daze. Like he just said, oh, I thought this was...
The guy name was Zach, who just came out of nowhere and came up to her tent. Zach ended up sleeping next to their tent, just a complete stranger with unknown intentions. Christine and her friend are very lucky because who knows what Zach would have done if they were asleep and not aware of the man walking outside of their tent at night. This could have been a very scary incident, a search for two missing women in the forest, but it did not turn out to be that. As I always say, if you are in the woods, you should never trust anyone because you never know what anyone is planning inside their own heads.
For your friends? He goes, ha ha ha. Yeah, looking for my friends. Gets his backpack on and keeps walking down the trail.
Just by that, haha, looking for my friends. The guy's intentions were probably sinister, if I had to guess. In the end, they made it out alive. This next video was uploaded by a guy named Josh, who was hunting in his backyard on October of 20th of 2013 on a cloudy day when he encountered something very terrifying. I'll let you take a look. The part that stands out to most people is how big this creature was. Many people have said it might be Bigfoot, and he doesn't want anyone to know he exists. That's why he stood up. Now, this can be debated by people who study Bigfoot, but for me, what stood out for me was how the creature did not notice Josh. But then out of nowhere, it stood up and it noticed Josh. The creature was doing something strange that nobody can describe. Or this could have been a prank that made people question a lot of things. But honestly, I am not sure. This video was posted in 2013, and I have not heard anything else about this encounter. Let me know in the comments, do you think this was Bigfoot or just a prank? Now, if you thought that was strange, let's take a look at the next story. You might think twice before ever stepping into the woods. Again, this next video comes from a YouTuber named Northwest, who focuses on camping and showing off his gear to his viewers. But this video really does emphasize why you should always be careful when camping alone. In October 13, 2023, he ended up visiting a well-known cemetery where he has had to bury his loved ones. And this was just him visiting to say hello. But as he got to the cemetery and began to try and find a spot away from the road so he could camp, something terrifying happened. I'll let you take a look.
Spooky.
Really isn't that spooky. I mean, it's a little...
Okay, well, that was some workers in a Kubota. Mean mugged for a second, so.
He then sees a car passing by. While he is laying down, he hears sticks getting snapped. But he ends up making it to the next day. When morning arrives, he begins to pack up and leave the cemetery before anyone sees him. After all, he saw a worker. Now, this experience was more of a psychological occurrence than an encounter. and of him being in a place that is supposed to be camping spot. His stealth camping ended up going well, and he left and was not hurt. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out my small YouTube channel.